Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Evolved Holistic Health Podcast. I'm your host, Esteban Tobar, and my guest today is Fabricio. He is an entrepreneur who started as a young boy in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. At the age of 14, he started his first e-commerce store and sold it before the age of 18. In 2019, he moved to Canada and now runs a successful agency called FabsMarketing. So, hey, Fabricio, how are you? Thank you for being on the podcast.
Hey, thank you so much for inviting me, and I hope that our conversation will give some value to the ones that are listening.
Of course, I think so. It definitely will. And so I wanted to ask you, what was it, starting off with your journey here? Um, what made you want to get into e-commerce and start running a business at the age of 14? Because, at the age of 14 for me, I was playing video games and doing other stuff. Running a store was not my first thought to do that at that age. So it is interesting, and I wanted to see what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, me too. I play video games until nowadays, so I'm a big fan of video games, so I can relate that. For me, I study English, even though I was, born and raised in Rio. I studied English since I was 9 years old, and like when I was 14, I started my first job. I was working as a translator. I did an assessment online, and I passed. So I was just translating some, silly tasks, as they say, like this, and earning some money. And I started to receive some money, and I kind of enjoy it. I was just a little boy, no need to pay bills and this kind of stuff. So every like $50 that I receive in a month for me was kind of okay. I will buy more games for me. And then I start to know more about, digital stuff, what we can do online, what we can run online. And I learned about this drop shipping thing. Because I know that in US and Canada, people are doing this for a long time. But in Brazil, that's very new. Like when I started like 10 years ago, there was just, few people talking about that. So I decided to give it a try, to learn. I had some money saved. I asked my mom at the time some more and run a test. I am a big fan of video games, movies as well, especially Marvel, DC, this kind of stuff. So I created a geek store. It was kind of what I would like and what I would buy. So I started to advertise. At the beginning, it was kind of tricky because the results were not there. There are a lot of things that we need to cover, and I was not ready yet. But as the time came and I started to learn more, to develop more, uh, the success came after some back and forth. So yeah, it was just me trying to do something different, trying to buy more games. It was a kind of something that I was doing for fun. And sooner than I realized, it came into something that I was actually earning money from. So it happened I've never planned to be like this. I just saw an ad, think that it was interesting, decided to give it a try. It was basically like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you saw an ad and that kind of inspired you to go ahead and start this store here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the because I know that you mentioned that there was trial and error for the store in creating it. What
Uh-huh.
was it that you started to learn? I mean, was it like maybe how to get more customers or how to maybe customer service or shipping speed? What was the trial and error, or was it more getting people to your store?
I think everything was a challenge because it was completely unknown thing. Like my mom doesn't work with that. My dad, I don't have anyone in my family doing that, and I decided to do by my own. So it was kind of everything was new to me. Like I didn't know how to, uh, you know, provide a good customer service. I didn't know how to advertise well. I just choose some things that I think that was interesting for me, and that's it, you know. So uh, at that time, like I didn't know like the value of the money, you know. Like of course, you know that money can buy some stuff, but you don't know like what exactly like how it's tough to get, you know, like how much effort do you want to put. And when I start to see my money come out, like I do some advertising and it was not converting, you know, like that was something challenging for me because I saw an ad and in the ads everything so, you know, sounds so simple, so easy to do, and most of the times it's not like this. Like most of the times you have struggles along the way. So for me the first shock was this, like I did an ad, didn't convert, like I spent all my money on this, like what I'm going to do now. So, you know, it was tough for me to get back on my feet. Like I needed to work more on the thing that I was doing, like on the translation thing in order to invest in the ads. After that, after some time, like I would say that I was not profitable at all. Like for the first year, I was trying, like I was barely break even. And after 1 year, I found something online, like a product that sold so much. Like it was, you know, a high speed selling, and I was not prepared for that. So for me, uh, you know, was the second shock because like, how do I do a good customer service with these people? Like, how do I, you know, help them? And start to come up some complaints, some, you know, shipment that was not being done at the proper time, you know. So the fulfillment part was the difficult thing, and but I had help when it got to this. Like I got my family, got my back, and in the end of the day, it was good because like I was able to grow like as a person much, you know, faster than my age. So like when I was 16, I was already running a business. I already have like one or two people helping me. It was not an employee because I was not paying a salary. Like I was just giving some help, like exchanging some favors, you know, like, okay, you do this for me, I do this for you. But either way, I had to manage my first team. So, you know, for me, it was something that I grew so much. And when I was like 18 years old, that actually sold it, I felt like, you know, as now I'm ready to do something more than just that, you know.
Mhm. What was it that you were trying to do now? What was your next steps that you wanted to do?
Yeah, like when I was 18, it comes to that time of university, you know, like okay, what I'm going to do now, like I need to choose my job, the thing that I will do for the rest of my life. And I was, you know, like I always liked mathematics so much, physics. So I decided to go to civil engineering school, and I thought at the time that it was the thing that I was, you know, looking to achieve. I was still doing some ecom, you know, like on my free time as well to earn some money. Uh, but after some years, like around 2 years of the civil engineering school, I realized that the most important thing for me was not there, because I believe that, okay, I like math, I like engineering, so that's something that I was going to do. And that was not. And that's the reason why I'm telling this story for you. It's because the thing that I want to do the most is to make a good impact, you know. Like when I had my first ecom, like was the first time that I was actually dealing with people, and I started to realize like how grateful they were when you provide a good service. Like how grateful you were, like they were when, you know, on my mind, I was just, you know, selling some stuff for them, doing the shipment, send it to their home. That's it. But for them was something special, something extra, you know. And I started to understand that, and that's what I'm looking for. Like, you know, to make a good impact, to be able to be, you know, like I won't say an example because I don't consider myself as this because I commit a lot of mistakes, but to be able to impact the community in a positive way. That's why I decided to move to learn more about marketing, because I know that with the skill that I love to do, that I learned by myself, and now I'm graduating on this, I was able to reach more people. And when I work with a business now, my biggest goal is, okay, so who am I going to impact with this, and I'm able to impact my community, like I'm able to impact Latin America. And I consider that for any action that I take, when I'm hiring, when I'm dealing with a business, when I'm saying no, sometimes happens as well. So it's all about the impact. It's all about like I am touching people's feeling. If I am, I'm happy with that. Of course, money is important, but nothing's more important than this feeling for me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you want to help people, and the money, it's good. It's good that you're getting paid, and it's good that you're getting money, but it comes secondary, right? You wouldn't do something where you're affecting people negatively, and getting paid. That's something that,
Yeah, it's not about affecting negatively, but like in the civil engineering, like I was doing some internship and I was working for large corporations, like I was able to work in a large corporation in Brazil. And when I was there, like I felt like, okay, it's not that I'm impacting negatively, but it's that I'm working for large corporations and these people, like, they don't care about regular people. Like, they don't care about like my neighbor, like they don't care about the community. They care about the huge profits, about numbers, like, and that's not my game. So my game is to be able to help people, like who I can touch, who I can feel, who I can talk on the street, So regular people. So I want to be like apart from large corporations, from big companies, this kind of stuff. Even though I can earn more money, I don't care because I want to see like that my job is impact directly in someone that is a regular people, someone that's the large corporation don't give a look, don't care so much.
yeah, I understand. Definitely. Yeah, you want to affect people, you want to give that human connection in a way, whereas with
Yeah,
larger corporations, it's like it's just not there anymore. It's like you said, it's more about statistics and numbers and
data
yeah,
stuff.
data. There's just no connection anymore there.
Hmm.
That is very, very inspiring because not something that a lot of people think about, when they start a business or when they um, or when it's not something they consider. What what inspired you to kind of think that way, or keep that value with you despite growing a business where a lot of people might lose that?
Yeah, for me, it was a simple action, but that changed the whole game for me. As I told you, my first ecom was a geek thing. Like I was dealing with nerd, like video games, this kind of stuff. And I used to sell a Mario action figure. Like Mario from the video game, Mario Bros.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was selling this, and that was selling so much, and it was, giving me some profit. I was happy with that. Until one day I received a message, like an email, the customer support email, and the guy just sent me like a picture of his baby with the toy, and he wrote something like this: hey, because of you, now I can share my passion with my young boy. So, and I'm grateful for that. So when I saw that, at the time I didn't understand so much the value of the things that we do. For me it was just about the numbers, just about selling. And when I realized that, okay, so I just sold a toy, and the guy's grateful for that because he's sharing his passion with uh, his young boy. So for him, it's something special. So I want to see that kind of special thing in the eyes, like of the people that I work with, that I relate with. Like I'm an immigrant in Canada. I'm working with so many immigration agencies right now. Uh, I'm helping them to get more audience, to make a great impact. And when I see someone like telling them, okay, I came from your ads and now I accomplished my dream to live abroad. Like I accomplished my dream to have a better life, to give a better life to my family, you know? So all of this impact me so well that I feel rewarded, you know, like, okay, I'm not just a guy doing some marketing, I'm something more. And that's what I'm looking for. So the turnaround point for me was at certain point silly, but it impacted and changed the whole game for me. So that guy, like what that guy said, you know, the feeling that he had at the time, I want to, you know, all my clients, all the people that I work with to feel the same way, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And it is incredible how one message can completely change everything for you. You know, it changes the way you run your business, the way you act, the way you would like it to grow. So it
Mm-hmm.
is an incredible thing. And oh, you know, I think that was obviously in you, that value to recognize that, you know, because somebody might get that and they might not, you know, um, they might not have the same thought. But I did want to ask you also, you did mention that you moved to Canada, you were living in Brazil. What was that process like? You know, was it difficult for you?
Kind of, because I was always like a very close to my family. So like living alone, completely alone without your family is always a challenge. But I decided to do that, looking for greater experiences because like in Brazil, like we have okay 200 million people, like that's a lot of people. But when you know English, like when you have a business like in North America, you can reach the world. Like although like I like so much to speak Portuguese, I like so much my country. Like when I'm in Canada, when I'm speaking English, when I'm talking with guys like you, I can reach more audience. Like almost everyone in the world talks English, even though it's not like speaks English, even though it's not like a you know their official language, but they speak as their second language. So when I decided to move was to that, like okay, so I want to be able to reach more people, like even bigger than Brazil, you know. So that was the kind of challenge for me, uh, to because I didn't feel like I was able to do that from Brazil, and I decided to move to further my education. And for me, it was difficult to move. The weather as well, the weather stuff. Like you live in New York, you know, like how winter is, especially in Toronto. Like it's very tough. Like and I'm from Rio, man. Like it's a summer all day, all year. You know, like we go to the beach, like we go to parks even during our winter because it's still sunny. You know, so and the culture as well. But you know, like I think that when you face some challenge like this, it makes you grow. Like it may hurt, but it makes me you know grow even more because like I feel like I'm a completely different guy when I arrived from today. You know, just it's 2 years and a half that I'm living here, like 2 and a half, almost 3 years from now, but I feel like I grew up like 5, 10 years because of the situation that I faced, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, you know, and I like what you said about like, you know, it's painful and uncomfortable, but yeah, the growth is there. I feel like when you know, when you push yourself to do something, even though it can be scary and painful, and maybe even lonely at times, yeah, the growth that happens afterwards, it's really incredible. And
Yes.
yeah, I like what you talk about also about experiences. Like you came here to experience it and to be able to just understand um, your life in a more authentic way. And this
Mm-hmm.
is kind of going to help you become more authentic. But well, let me ask you this: what do you like about Toronto? What is
Man,
there?
several stuff like I love. I don't know if you know that or, but basically Toronto is based on 50% they are native people and 50% they are immigrant, and we have immigrants from all over the world. Like there are more than 200 nationalities just in Toronto, living in Toronto. So like the opportunity to connect with different cultures is amazing. Like in the same classroom, like when I was studying, like in the same classroom, like you have people from South America, from North America, from Africa, Asia, like people that you don't even think about, like that you would know one day. So that's amazing because like you can connect with more people and share experience. Like so the cultural thing, like it is so rich here in Toronto. So that's something that I appreciate so much. I also love the like the how safe it is. Like I feel completely safe here. Like I am not afraid at all. Like so it's very organized as well. So like to raise a family is much better than other cities. And Toronto was chosen like several times as one of the best places to live in the world. But the number one thing for me is culture. Like I can be like in a weekend in a Brazilian restaurant to kind of visit my culture, but in another day I can be in an African restaurant, like experimenting a totally different food. So that's something that amazed me, and that made me learn so much because like it's we are all humans, but it's like impressive like how we are so different from each other, like how our culture is different, and that's good. That's good because like different doesn't mean that is the wrong way. It doesn't. It only means that it's different in somehow. So it's opportunity to grow, to learn.
Yeah, definitely. And different is like a different perspective also, It's like
Yeah.
you're learning something else, a different experience from a different part of the world. And I think that's what's kind of like um, the great part about, living life. And
Yeah.
and so I wanted to ask you about your agency, Fabs Marketing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, if you could tell me a little bit more about that agency and how it got started.
Yes, it got started 3 years ago. When I moved to Canada, I was already like, because when I was around 19 to 20 years old, I kind of transitioned a little bit. Like I used to run my e-commerce by myself, but running an e-commerce is something very tough, very difficult because you have several things to do. And I was doing like basically all my own. Of course, I had some people helping me, but I would still need to lead the way. And I realized that, okay, that's something that I like to do. That's something that I like to do. That's something that I don't want to do. So I don't want to do this anymore. And the fact that I don't like to do is because I feel like I'm not good at it as well. So I'm not the expert. So instead of having my own e-coms, I decided to sell my service to help other people that they have e-com. And that's when my agency started. Like it was me kind of like doing the same thing that I did for my own stores with the other people's store as well. So I started to sell that, especially marketing and copywriting. That was kind of the things that I'm expert about. But during like when I was studying, when I was graduating, I started to know more people, and I started to understand, okay, so I need something more, because I realized that me as a guy, just me working and selling my service was not enough for them. They would need other people as well to fulfill what they need, like they don't need only someone to run ads. They need people to create posts. They need people to create a website. Then, and I was not able to do that. So I started to upgrade step by step and hire more people, and also reaching more, different niches, different businesses, not only working with e-coms, because as I told you, like I want to be able to help other ways as well. So it grew up like as an idea of a young boy, okay, like lets me help some other people as well right now. And yeah, we are always looking to upgrade. Like right now I have around 10 people working with me already, like on my team, several more than 30 clients that we helped along this journey. Like so it has been a pleasure to me, and I'm still like I still like to put my hands on, so I still want to do some job myself. to be able to still feel the, the sense of, the challenge, the, everything that you face when you're doing with your own biz, with your own money. I feel the same way when I'm doing for my clients, because like I know that's the result needs to be there, to keep working together, So yeah, it was basically this idea that grew up, upgraded, and turned out what's nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, it's really incredible. So you had an e-commerce store, you sold it, before turning 18, and now you have this agency, FabsMarketing, where
Hmm.
now you have 10 employees, and it's all at the age of, you're 24 now, correct?
Yeah.
So at such a young age, you already have a company with 10 employees, and that's something that, again, 24 is something that a lot of people, they're not running a company with employees. So what is your thought process or your mindset, because it looks like you were able to jump pretty quickly in creating these
Uh-huh.
businesses and making them successful. So how, I mean, what is your thought process? Do you have any like difficulties before starting a business, or is it something that you are able to jump into?
I have difficulties until nowadays, to be honest with you. Like, I need a lot of people to support me, because, like, I am the kind of guy that wants to embrace the challenge. Like, I'm not afraid at all. But with that comes some mistakes as well that you commit along the way. Like, you don't pay attention so much in the details as you would need. Sometimes I don't structure process as I would need. So with that knowledge, like when I realized that, I start to learn, feel more human. So like I'm working with this for 3 years, but there were several months that I didn't have a client at all, like still looking for clients, still hunting, and still, like going after these people. So for me, the turnaround point is always two things, like understand that I'm human, that I'm not perfect. So there are some things that I will be able to do well. There are others that I'm not able to do well. And these things I usually delegate. And second was my wife. Even though I'm young, I married last year. I married in January 2020, right before the pandemic.
Wow.
And for me, like she's completely the opposite of me. Like she's more kind of the person that wants to have the control of everything that it's doing, pay attention so much in the details. So like with her help, like I feel like we have a team, because what is missing in me, like she can complete, she can come to the plate. And yeah, like this was very important to me, because now I have like a support for someone that I love, but I also have my team to cover my mistakes, like my weaknesses. So I still have difficulties, I still don't know how to do some situations, I still panic sometimes during calls when I don't know what to answer. But nowadays, as I have help, as I have my team with me, and of course, like the most important people, the most important person that is with me now is my wife. So as I have her, like it's easier to fulfill this. But like living, like having your own biz, it's always like you don't have so much safety, let's say like this, like it's always changing, like there are months that you can close several clients, and there are months that you may not close a single one. It can happen. So like be able to understand these times and know that's going to work, know that you are going to improve the way that you need, and keep going. Like there are these things I learned with her. She helped me so much with that, so it keeps me pushing to move forward, like because I think that's I tried to give up like several times, like several times I thought about giving up, like doing some other stuff, but she was there for me, and that's the reason why I'm still on my feet and still with my business, and we're still doing some good job.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, that's a great wife for sure, you know. She she kind of pushed you into not giving up, and I like that you said, it's like you said, it's just like pretty much your other half, you know. She's like the
Yeah.
detail-oriented one, like maybe, I don't know, maybe more grounded one, and then you're more of the more spontaneous one. You like to jump into things and take action and learn as you go. So that's a great team right there for sure.
Yes,
Um,
yes, and I always recommend that. Like, in my case with my wife, but for other people, maybe a friend, maybe a mentor. Someone that you really trust is very important, because there are things that need to be seen that you cannot see for yourself. Sometimes that are mistakes that you commit that you don't realize, because it's your personality, it's your way of doing things. But when you have someone look at the bigger picture, like out of it, it makes you imagine things that you are not able to imagine by your own. So having someone, at least one person that you really trust, is something very important. Like when I started was my mom. Now with my business and with this new life, like living abroad and all this kind of stuff, it's my wife. But it can be a friend, it can be a mentor, but someone to be on your side is key to success, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. I myself, I've taken business classes and classes in general. It's always good to just get a different perspective because somebody, you may see a problem one way and they might see a problem differently, you know.
Mhm.
So it's always great to have that back and forth, maybe asking people for help, those kind of things. But so you've had two businesses so far. Um,
Uh-huh.
what would you tell people that would want to start a business? What's something you would tell them, like just get started or do some research or find what you love? What tips would you give them?
Yeah, I believe that the first thing that you need to understand is like what's the ultimate goal of your business. Like if you just want to start a business to have some money, like it won't succeed. Like when money is the ultimate goal, business don't last. Like it happened the same with me. Like I started my e-com to earn some money, and I was only able to be actually successful when I understand the value of it. So your ultimate goal has to be something very special for you. For me, it's to impact more people, to help more people. For you, it can be something different. It can be like your dreams. It can be supporting your family, for something like this. But you still need to have your ultimate goal. Once you figure out this ultimate goal, of course, being like cautious and learning about your finances is good, but you need to take a step of faith. Like at some point, somehow, and I understand that's difficult, especially because we have a lot of people out there. We know there are some people that are not uh, trustworthy. We know that there are some people that are just scams, fake gurus, but you still need to take a step of faith, because like once you give this first step, you realize what's like if that's actually for you. And you do the same thing like when you go to college, for example. Like I went for civil engineering school, and that was my step of faith, and I realized that it was not for me, and that's okay. It's okay to change along the way. So of course doing some research is good, but from my experience, like I feel like you only really understand what it is, like, and you really understand the challenge and the benefits of it when you were inside. So to do that, you need to take a step of faith. I'm not telling you to, spend all your money or, like sell your house or something like that. But I'm telling you, like, if you can do that, if it's affordable for you, you need to take a step. I always say, like, I learned this from my mentor, that the best way to start a business was yesterday, and the second best day is today. So yesterday was the best day, was the right timing. The second one is today. So if you have someone that will really support you, that will help you with your mistakes, if you know your value, like, oh, your ultimate goal, like what makes you dream, what makes you wake up in the morning, like what excites you, and you take this step of faith, I believe that you are most likely to succeed, even though maybe your business is complex. But like you are doing that with so much passion, so much effort that you will learn along the way. So that was what happened to me. So that's kind of what I recommend to people as well. So like listening my wife a little bit. Okay, plan a little bit, but don't plan so much. Don't overthink. Take a step of faith.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that, it's true. You can sometimes I've heard that sometimes planning is a way to delay taking action. It's a way to just not do it. So yeah, it's good to plan and to kind of make a little plan and maybe think about the steps, but eventually you have to take action. And I agree, you don't have to do these major steps. You can just take like a little step, little by little, every day, and eventually you'll have something, you know. And so, yeah, I think I definitely agree with that.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I believe that's something that I did like in the past when I started is to put some small targets so I would be able to step further. Like for example, I didn't start with like investing like a 10K, for example. I started investing like a 500, and then my goal was to reach 1K. When I reach 1K, I reinvest. So taking these small steps give you two things. The first one is the momentum. So basically, the momentum is that, like that time that you feel like, okay, I was able to succeed, I was able to reach that. So you feel happy and you feel excited and you keep moving forward because you see that's working. So it's good to have these momentums. But if your first goal is to have like I want to start a business, you have like 100K in revenue. That's tough. That's huge to accomplish. So that momentum will not come so easily. So putting small targets like, okay, I'm investing 500. Let's go to 1K. Let's go to 1.5. So this is very important. And also to give you short steps, because the most difficult thing is to build the foundation, like to reach, a process, to understand a process that actually works. So this is very, very difficult to reach. And just taking these small steps, you will build the foundation because like selling nothing is a huge problem, but maybe selling too much is a problem as well because you are not able to fulfill. We don't have the workforce, or like if you are in the e-com or selling stuff, like your inventory is not enough, like the shipments delay. There are so many stuff. So like selling nothing is a problem as much as selling too much, more than we were ready to do. So when you have a solid foundation, you can sell more and more, so that will not be a problem for you. So putting small targets, I think it's very important for these two things, like creating the momentum and also build the foundation of your business.
Yeah, I like that because yeah, you can have if you don't have like a solid foundation, you won't. And if you sell all this product, it can be bad for your business, and it can destroy it in a way. And so it's good to take these little steps and be able to, kind of just meet your targets, but make sure that you're still running a business that can be successful and doesn't get destroyed by, problems along the way, especially if it grows too quickly.
Yeah, and people like your customers, they feel that. Like your customer can tell like 100%, even if you're not doing a good job, okay, even if the results are not there, but they feel the passion, they feel that you are doing your best. Like it's easier to overcome that and to reach a point to, okay, like now my client is happy. you know but when you're not giving the proper times, especially because you have tons of clients to take care of, or when you're not giving the value that they need, or when you're not giving the support, when you don't hear them, they realize that. And that's the time when the bad reviews come. And these this is the worst thing that can happen for any business, like when you have unsatisfied customers, because they will tell bad things about you, they will tell bad things to their friends, and like you are losing so much. So it's better to have 5 clients and you do a very good job and you give them the time that they worth, give them, you know, all the effort that you can provide to them, than having like a hundred and you just shoot them as numbers, you know.
Hmm.
So they feel that, they sense that, and they need to feel rewarded, because like it's their life, it's their business, it's something important to them. Don't matter, like, as the guy who sent to me like a, no matter if it's a toy or if it's like changing their lives like financially, for them is still important, and we need to give this sense of, you know, importance and urgency as they feel in their minds, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like that, you know.
Hmm.
And so, is there anything else you would like to tell our listeners? Any tips? Anything extra?
Yeah, like as I told you, like these are the way that I have done. This is my story, but maybe you know, every story is different, so maybe yours will not be like mine, and that's totally okay. I talk with some friends, like I'm not kind of, you know, like I don't coach people so much, but I talk with my friends, I talk with my family, and then I sometimes you know, meet some people that they feel so disappointed because like they are at a certain age and they don't feel like they find the right thing, you know. Like as I started, you know, at the age of 14, but I changed my career 3 times already, like from my e-com to civil engineering to now having a marketing agency. So don't matter the age, don't matter the position that you were at, like there's still something that you can do, you know. There is also a hope. So this sense of urgency that we have sometimes, that we have this pressure, sometimes it's from our friends, our family, to be successful at a certain age because someone else was, it's not healthy. So don't matter so much the age, don't matter so much if you find your way, your spot, or if you find already the thing that excites you the most. You know, it makes some takes a little bit more of time, but when you get there, you will be rewarded. So don't be afraid of that. Don't put pressure on yourself. And as I told before, as I told you before, like it's all takes a step of faith. Like you only know exactly like if that's the right thing or not when you embrace that. You only know like how does it feel when you were there in that position, you know. So embracing the challenge is very important. Like sometimes you plan so much, sometimes you think so much, sometimes you know, have like a bunch of papers, bunch of marketing strategies and, you know, business strategies, and that's not the thing that will make your business sustainable. It's your job, it's your faith, it's your efforts, it's your value, you know. So, you know, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't be afraid of trying. Don't be afraid of committing mistakes. Don't be afraid of, you know, not being successful. That will happen. It happened with everyone, and it will continue happening. But that doesn't make you like a, you know, less than anyone else. Doesn't make human a human being. So I know that I will commit some mistakes. I don't know if like in a few years if my business will still be up. Maybe it is. Like I hope it is. Like I'm doing my best here. But maybe I will do something else, and that's okay. You know. So I'm not afraid of what life's, you know, saves for me. I'm not afraid of tomorrow, and I don't recommend you to be as well, because like this challenge that keeps us alive, when you continue dreaming, like when you keep you know, willing to be better every single day. So that it's what excites you and keeps you alive. So don't be afraid of committing mistakes. I believe that when you commit mistakes, you learn even more than when you succeed. And also when you commit mistakes, it's one step else that you're taking to the success. Like maybe there's a few people that reach the success without committing mistakes, but honestly, I don't know any.
Right. Yeah, I think everybody, it's like a trial and error, and eventually, like I remember a picture where it was a magician, and he
Uh-huh,
had like these plates, and he was like spinning the plates, and
uh-huh,
behind him there was like steps, and there was like 1,000 broken plates along these steps as he was going up,
mm-hmm,
until he got to this venue where he was now able to, he had this great success
uh-huh.
with a huge audience. So yeah, I think, I agree. I think that, yeah, you're gonna make mistakes along the way, but those mistakes are what's gonna, make you successful. How
Mm-hmm.
else are you gonna learn how to know what's right and what what what's wrong for your
Yeah,
business?
yeah, no, for sure. That's the key to learn. Like every time that I commit a mistake, I always think about that. Like this picture that you mentioned, I know what you're talking about. So it's basically like this. Like I know people that started a business like at the age of 40s, 50s, and they are completely happy. And there are people like, like me that started doing this at the age of 14. So it's all good. Like we're still equal. It's still like the same way. Like don't matter the age, don't matter so much like the mistakes that you commit along the way. It only matter if you were happy or not. So right now, maybe I don't know, like maybe if I was in the civil engineering field and working for large corporations, I would be able to earn more money. Um, I don't know, maybe I was like one of the partners of the company nowadays, like with my work. But honestly, I wouldn't trade it at all. Like, if someone offered me a position, like being a partner for a large corporation in exchange of everything that I have, even though I'm not like I'm not the kind of guy who come to you and say, hey, I'm making millions with my marketing agency, because I'm not. But even though I wouldn't trade it all, because that feeling for me, like it's unpayable, like it's there's no money that who can actually pay for that. And finding that proposition, finding that, like that feeling, that purpose on your life is the most important thing. So like the pressure, like I am the kind of guy who likes pressure because it makes me grow. It makes me out of my comfort zone, and every time that you step ahead from your comfort zone is painful. But man, like it's so rewarding that like it's good. Like I'm working from the comfort of my home. Like I can be tomorrow like in another part of the world to work. I can be with my family basically all the time. Like I work like one room I had for my wife. I spend all the time on the work with her, and that's something important to me. So it's just a matter of finding what's important, what makes you smile, and then when you find, that's it. You know.
Definitely, definitely, I agree. And where can people find you? What's social links?
Yeah. So the name of my business is FabsMarketing. So I'm on Instagram. Like FabsMarketing is my Instagram. You can reach me out there. My personal one is Fabricio Basilio. People can also contact me, like feel free to DM on all this kind of stuff. And my website is fabsmarketinggroup.com. So feel free to take a look, feel free to contact, feel free to send a message, even though you're not a client, even though you don't want to purchase my service. For me, it's always a pleasure to talk, to connect, and to make friends along the way. So I have the pleasure to say nowadays that I have friends in all continents. So I have people, like I have friends in Africa, like Asia, and I want to keep growing, because as much you learn, like you will do different stuff, you will embrace different challenges. So networking for me is all very good. So Fabricio Basilio, my Instagram profile, Fast Marketing, my business one. My LinkedIn is Fabricio Basilio as well. So feel free to message me out in any social media that you feel comfortable, and I will try my best to make myself available and reply in a short way.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And for the listeners, I will also put the links in the description below, so you can just click on those. And thank you, Fabricio, for being on the podcast. And I will talk to you soon. You have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Stefan. Bye bye.